Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all y'all. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego the Scythe emote into chat. How's everybody doing? If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply. Harold, thank you for the host. Caribou, thank you for saying hello in the chat. I'm going to keep talking to you, but I'm going to the pre-show here because the thing I forgot to do was to clean up a little bit around here in my room. So I am going to quickly do that. I don't know why, but when the closet door is open, I don't like it. So I have now closed the closet door. I'm sitting back down, and presto! It's like I didn't have a shirt hanging up behind me, and I didn't have the closet door open. Anyway, thanks so much for dealing with that. Audio sounds a little blown out to me, Lastbrook says. Lastbrook, that's probably because it is. So I'm going to go and adjust that. I was on a thing on, can you teach me to apply decals? I'm a gunpool beginner. Yes, we'll get to that. Hi, Mr. Bob. Hey, Lastbrook. Hey, Aristofan. Hey, Dude Wants His Rug. It's been a little while. Welcome back. Happy to have you here. Yeah, I am going very hard in this, so I'm going to try to adjust my sound. I was on a stream yesterday, which we'll probably talk a little bit about, and I guested there, and they needed me to really increase my audio. So I am going to try to figure out which sound setting, because as you know, Windows 10 has like a dozen sound settings that you have to change constantly. And I don't know which one is the issue. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, I don't know who you were, but someone retweeted you, and I saw the words Defiant and decided I must try this. Heck yeah. I assumed that the very lovely Chris Straub retweeted that I was going live, which is fantastic of him. So that you may have seen Chris Straub's retweet there. All right, so let me go in and mic boost down. How does that sound, folks? How we sounding here? Lashbrook mentioned the audio issue. Let me know how I'm sounding now. So Chris retweeted, which is very lovely. Chris is the best. But yeah, let me know how my audio, much better. Great. Audio is better. For some reason, the stream I was on, we were using Discord, and I was very, very quiet. So I ended up boosting myself there, and I forgot to undo that. Actually, the truth is, I was hoping I didn't have to undo that. Because now I'm going to have to redo it, because I'm going to be on that stream again on Sunday. So that's why I was like, oh. Anyway, hi everybody. Yeah, so I've never worked on a Polar Lights model kit before, and driving. Baer is driving. I get it. We will be working. We're going to work on this. I'm glad to have you here. I'm glad if new folks are here. Hello, Epic Open World. Welcome. And Caribou. I will talk to you about decals. Now, I'll be very clear, folks. When it comes to applying water transfer decals, I am by no means an expert. And sometimes I have been known to be bad at it. But I'm going to do my best. As you can see, I'm also wearing my Star Trek t-shirt. That was on purpose because I was like, well, Cisco's there, and I have literally I have a shirt with the Defiant. Yes, thank you. I like it. I like this shirt a lot. But because I have a shirt with the Defiant on it, which, hey, I don't think I've ever had, because it's been a long time since I owned, like, a Gundam shirt, which I should probably fix. Pat Baer, not an expert. No, I am an enthusiast. No. I am a affiliate enthusiast, which is an enthusiast, which is not really a thing. But yes, the Cisco in the middle, front and clear, right? So obviously this is outdated. There are other captains. There's been other Star Trek. If you like it or you don't, there is other Star Trek out there. There are other captains. But at the time, this was accurate. Indeed, dirty. We did say Cisco, um, but we are speaking, of course, of the commander that and then Captain Cisco, and not the Thong Song Cisco. Um, who needs more captains? Archer already exists. Yes, indeed. The Cadillac of starships. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that. Also, there's a lot of you here, which is very cool and also surprising. Uh, yes, we're talking about Cisco with a K, not a Q. Being an expert at a hobby is kind of a strange concept to me. What makes you an expert? So, Epic Open World. Um, if I got so obviously I'm an affiliate, right? So I make a little money through Patreon and through Twitch and through whatever, but I don't get paid to build model kits, or I don't get paid as a job to instruct on model kits. Uh, so maybe expert wouldn't be the right term, but if I was a professional model kit assembler, then that's something, right? Um, yes, indeed. Uh, but that is a job. It's just not a job that I have. Because there are people that do that. I will say I once got paid while working in an anime store. Some of my hourly rate, I'm sorry, import store. Some of my hourly rate was dedicated to building model kits for display. So at one point in my life, I did get paid briefly to assemble model kits, but it was just part of my job. Uh, yeah, I worked at one of those import stores in the mall because I, was alive in the 90s when you could get a job at an import. When a store selling clearly bootlegged CDs and wall scrolls and model kits that were legit and VHS tapes that were fan subs, yeah, that is a thing you can just do for minimum wage. And you had to drive. I had to drive really far to get that, but to get to work, but it was a fun thing. Yes, import store. Yeah. So we didn't do Pocky, but we did do Hello Kitty merchandise, which we sold to normies, basically. Pat, did your import store have a secret back room for the good stuff? No, we didn't sell anything adult, um, which is because we were in a mall. I believe when the store moved out of the mall after I had stopped working there. Hey, Harold, happy to have you here. When that store moved, I believe they did start selling some adult-oriented stuff. Well, yeah, Bats Maru rules. Don't get me wrong, folks. I need you to understand. Bats Maru is cool. So let's just get it straight. Hi, Jam. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so you can look at this already, and you can tell yourself, you can say out loud as you look at this. That's a small model kit. And that's a lot of big pieces. So I would call this is the equivalent of a high grade, but even more so. It's not like an SD because sometimes the SDs are actually very detailed. But this is definitely a non-grade that is just like we don't have a lot of sheets here. There's some detail certainly, but this is not the most complex kit I'll ever build. And so what it does come with is a lot of water transfer decals. This thing wants all kinds of decals, which is fine. It's okay that it wants all these decals. Also, this kit is 2 years old, so that's good for us because it means that these should transfer pretty easily. When you start getting into older kits, you run a bit of a risk. That's a lot of decals. Yeah, we're not going to put every decal on here, but we're going to put the USS Defiant. We're going to try to get that on there. We're going to try to get some of the numbers on there. We might do some of the shading, but I'm not I don't know. We're going to see. Do you ever do battle damage modifications to the models? So Blue, on occasion, if I fuck up, it wants to be panel lined. It definitely does, Mr. Bob. If I fuck up working on a kit, I have been known to just try to make it seem like that's part of the deal. I certainly have done that before. Sorry, I'm a little out of whack here. I don't know why. My last stream was on Saturday, but I'm all over the place. So we're going to start assembling this thing. And yeah, it's going to want a whole lot of decals, and we are going to do our best to facilitate that. Um, and yeah, let's see what these numbers are. These are numbered, but they are somewhat hard to see the numbers there. So we're going to look there. We're going to look there. Just going to kind of check out these instructions here. Uh, this is not a glue kit. This will be a snap kit, which is great. You can see there, this is a snap kit. We're going to be snapping these parts together, which is great because I don't want to, I don't mind doing a glue kit, but if I can avoid doing a glue kit, I will avoid doing a glue kit. So we're going to put these aside here, and we're going to get into it. These are numbered, but the numbers are a little hard to read. You can kind of tell by shape. There's not a lot of pieces, so you should be able to pick up exactly what you need from it. But I will say that it is you kind of really have to look to catch the numbers in the light, which is a little frustrating, but not bad. The modern Star Trek I watched the least of. Okay. So yes, this is from Deep Space Nine. Oh, I wish there was a Worf decal. Oh man, that would be great. But no, as far as I know, no. So here's the thing about Deep Space Nine. I wish there wasn't. I wish that the Defiant wasn't part of it. Now, I think the Defiant is a cool idea, especially like breaking the thing, having stealth capabilities, or cloaking technology, I should say, cloaking, not stealth, but you know what I mean by that. Like that's cool, and I like that a lot. Um, but yeah, I mean, part of me wishes that it this wasn't part of the series because I think it loses a little luster when you add a ship to the show that didn't have a ship. You prefer Doctor Who over Star Trek? Totally understand. To each their own. I mean, I think there's great series in both. Um, my Bigfoot had a crack axle and one of the wheels fell off. So I told my grandma that's just the finish. It just finished a run. Hell yeah. It's like, yeah. Oh, things got messy out there. So here's the thing about Deep Space Nine. I think the characterization is great. I think setting it on a space station is a unique, makes it a unique series in the show. And I think the post Civil War emancipation thing between the Bajorans and the Cardassians. I said Shians, but Cardassians is interesting, and their ongoing thing. I think the Maquis is more interesting in Deep Space Nine than they are in Voyager, because they are actually doing the thing, whereas in the other series they are, kind of forced to become part of the crew, and you don't really get the sense of what they were doing and what their goals were. Um, all right, great. We have gotten our first pieces snapped together. That feels pretty okay. Uh, no, we cannot make this ISS Defiant. Dirty, I cannot get into alternate worlds. And that whole thing. I mean, that's a whole thing. The man, it's just, to me, that's just an excuse to allow some actors to get to do some different things with their characters. It's like, man, all our actors are really good and they're stuck in these roles. Let's do something wacky with them. Let's have them play like the evil alternate versions of themselves. So Epic and World, I do believe that yes, they'll make a different kit. That's totally right. I personally do believe Deep Space Nine holds up. I think it takes a little while to get going. So, when you're talking about the next generation in Deep Space Nine, you follow the inverse hair rule. The inverse hair rule says when Riker grows a beard, the next generation gets awesome. And alternatively, when Sisko fully shaves his head, that's when Deep Space Nine really picks up. Now, is that foolproof? No. There's probably a few episodes where Riker doesn't have a beard that are good. There's probably a few episodes of Deep Space Nine where he has some hair still that are good. But overall, that's a pretty decent guide to when things kind of pick up, because both of it means the shows have existed for a little while. The writers are kind of have a feel for the characters. The actors kind of have a feel for what it means to be in a Star Trek. Like, and some of them, have TV experience, some don't. So yeah, it kind of that's kind of a good rule. Yeah, it's a good rule of thumb. Well, yeah, I mean, dirty. Look, when the Star Trek Star Wars conversation comes up, inevitably someone is going to say Deep Space Nine is theirs, and some or the Next Generation, or there are Voyager lovers out there. Good for you, good on you. Some are going to say, Star Wars, the original trilogy, or the second trilogy, because I was 10 when like if you were 10 when Phantom Menace came out. Fucking hell yeah, Phantom Menace. It's the whole thing. But there's always somebody who's just like, Babylon 5. What about Babylon 5? A guy made some weird choices as a character in like the first episode, and for a one appearance, and then the creator was like, I'm going to explain why that guy's so weird in 5 years from now. And then he did it, and it's the fucking best. I'm a defender of Voyager. I remember it being so good, but I was teen watching, so who knows if it's actually good. So Epic Open World, the thing with Voyager is that like Janeway is awesome, and Chakotay is awesome, and like Paris gets awesome, and B'Elanna is awesome, and Kim is pretty okay. So like the Doctor gets great. So there's a lot of awesome characters, and then Seven of Nine is a really interesting character, I think, beyond everything else. But like. Tuvok is pretty alright, and also great for that actor who had been in a whole mess of Star Trek before to finally get a reoccurring character after being like just a background dude for so many years. But yeah, I think I think Deep Space Nine is probably my favorite. If I had to pick a fave, it's probably Deep Space Nine. But I can admit I might be biased about that too. It had an entire episode of Penn and Teller. Also, The Rock is in an episode of Voyager, so that's pretty fucking cool. Babylon 5 only gets edged out by Deep Space Nine to me because there is more. I mean, Babylon 5 is such a weird, wonderful show that like has to do any show that has to do all its world building on its own and decides to be like, hey, this race of people? We're not going to spend a lot of time on this race of people because the main focal point for this show is going to be that one of them merged her soul with a human. And so she's not like them anymore. So we're just going to figure that part out. We're going to just go real weird with it. And then later we're going to tell you that a character you thought was one race is actually an ancient person pretending to be that other race. How's that going to work? We don't know yet. We'll figure it out. Yeah, dirty. Not a lot of people like Enterprise. Yeah, that's the thing. The thing that I'll always say is, at the end of the day, I was always a big fan of Babylon 5. I think it just worked, and it's a strange thing. But yeah, Harold also liked Enterprise. Cool. I'm glad. I mean, Enterprise has a great captain, some pretty good supporting cast. It played. So the thing is, if you do a series years later, you can rewrite what happened in the other series and kind of explain some things away. But doing a prequel, it's hard to rewrite what happens after the events. And I think that's where things get odd, is like, well, we don't want to do the Klingons like they did in the original series. How do we do that since it's been retconned later? I don't know. And, like, hey, let's introduce some new races. How come we've never seen them at any other shows? I don't know. We'll figure it out later. It's a little tough. Yes, Epic Open World. I do understand that, and I can appreciate that. If you want to see like Discovery, you gotta have an app, or Picard, you gotta have an app. Uh, Here's the thing about B5: the writers wrote the exact amount of seasons the show ran for, and elected not to continue. Yes. Yeah. No. I mean, that show is a self-contained universe, and it ends where it wants to end, and I love that. I think that's beautiful. It did what it did what it set out to do. All right, so let's get some more pieces together here because we got to do. All right, optional. Do not use if dome base. So there's a dome base here, and there's a piece there that we'll use if we don't want to put the dome on there. Okay. I don't always look ahead instructions. This is pretty straightforward. We're gonna put some bulkheads on here. We're gonna do things up proper. Again, hard to read the numbers on this. I could have made a cheat sheet, but I didn't. But also, there are only so many pieces on this kit. And like I said, we're gonna spend a long time here making stuff happen. CBS All Access currently has the first episode of Lower Decks and the second season of Short Treks on their YouTube for limited time. Ooh, that's good. Yeah, I've heard pretty okay things about Lower Decks. I will say I appreciate that it is based on the episode from Next Generation called Lower Decks. And so, I like that because I think that's a fantastic episode, and it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But I've heard some pretty good things about that. If people were more on board with Picard, I would have subbed to watch it. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard some good things and some not so good things about Picard. I don't have CBS All Access because I got to make my choices about what streaming platforms I use and what streaming platforms I don't use. And that one, I just made the choice that was not a thing that I was going to end up getting. All right, so this is going to go. Is this the right piece? Goes like this. Yes, and then this is going to go like that, and that's going to lock in place. Yes, it is. Great. All right, these snap together pretty well. Obviously, we're going to put a front and back on this because that doesn't look good. That looks kind of bad, but we'll get there. I like Lower Decks so far. Yeah, I mean, I've heard good things. And I know, Harold, you are a Picard fan of the series Picard, which, yeah. I know some people that really enjoyed it, and I know some people that didn't. Haven't watched it. My Star Trek stuff is, I watched Next Generation as it aired. I came in a couple seasons late, but then I got caught up through reruns and through, syndicated television. Went back, watched a lot of the original series to kind of get familiarize myself with it and kind of figured out how I felt about the show. And then watched Deep Space Nine as it aired. Watched Voyager as it aired, although I did drop off and then later have to finish Voyager because I was a little tired of it. I think I just got worn out by the show as it progressed. And then didn't watch a lot of Enterprise. Didn't really click with me at first. And then what eventually did I? Oh yeah, and then that's about it. I haven't seen any of Discovery. But I wouldn't be opposed to seeing some of Discovery. I just haven't actually done it. All right, so let's keep going with this kit. I hope you're all doing well tonight. For new folks, so I know that some of you probably came because of Chris Straub retweeting, which I really appreciate, or you just haven't watched the stream in a while, and you kind of came in to check things out. Either way, however you ended up finding yourself here, or you're here all the time because you like what I do and you wanted to come and hang out, which I appreciate. But no matter the reason that you're here, welcome. I am a model kit builder and a Lego assembler. We just did a Lego sets not too long ago and just finished that up. And this is my first time doing a kit from this company. I traditionally do Gunpla as my model kits. I've done other things. Worked on some cars out of the initial D franchise. Those involved liquid cement. Those were glue kits. Um, but yeah, I've built Dragon Ball Z figure model kits. I've built, which are really fun. I've built some One Piece ships, which are also very fun. Those involve, they have some decals. Those are mostly, I should say, stickers. Those are incredible amounts of stickers to get those kits to look good. But they do look good when you put them all on there. Yeah, so I've done a variety of stuff, but I traditionally do model kits from Mobile Suit Gundam, many of the Mobile Suit Gundam series, because I like building those kind of kits. They're really fun for me. Lego stuff, I will do your many Star Wars Lego kits, but I've also done kits for Ninjago, which is their house like fantasy dragon ninja brand that Lego has, which are very fun. I built a lot of those. And I've lately been building a lot of 3-in-1s, which are smaller kits, but you disassemble them and then reassemble them over and over again in a variety of builds. So it's like 3 builds in one. Those are very fun to put together. I just did one of those. And I have another one of those coming in the mail. Someone bought one of them off my Amazon wish list. I don't know who did it yet. I don't know who the guilty party is that supported me on a stream or supporting the stream by buying me a model kit, but somebody did, and I will assemble that kit soon. Um, did you ever any Redline kits? Are there any JJBA kits out there that you know of? No, as far so I'll answer that question. No, I don't believe that they have done that. So Bandai has done the Figure Rise kits. If you like Kamen Rider, there are a lot of Kamen Rider kits out there. There's a lot of Dragon Ball kits. We've built almost all of the Dragon Ball kits because they're fantastic. And there's one Naruto kit. They did a teenage Naruto from like Shippuden era Naruto, which I really liked. That was a fun one because it had magnets so that it could hang upside down, which I think is just a cool touch. And they've done like a couple other ones here and there, but they haven't done any of that. I know they're action figures, but I don't believe there are any model kit figures for JoJo, which would be fucking cool, especially with the stands. They could do some really interesting things with that. Um, I don't know if there are any Redline kits. I don't know that. Let me check here. I'm going to do a quick. I don't think so. But possible. So here's the thing. The nice thing about model kit stuff is if it's based on a real thing, then you can probably find the cars. Like the initial D model kits. Well, those were glue kits because those are based on real cars. And so that's like real cars are glue because they traditionally sell those to old men and they want to glue stuff together. That's not exclusive, right? That is also perceived. It's a perceived audience and all that other stuff, right? Whereas if it's a big robot, then it's probably going to be a snap together kit just because that has been the common way you sell those kits. There are, glue kits that do it, but traditionally you sell, you expect that if you're going to buy a big kit like that, you're going to snap them together. And then of course there's like some odds and ends, like if it's a Zoid. If it's a Zoid, then it's going to also be motorized in some small weird way because that is the decision they made when those figures came out, was that they would have motors and move around, which is just such a weird thing. I love that, but it's so weird. This did not snap in right, so apologies. I'm gonna get my tools out here. Star Platinum, indeed. Yes. Yeah, they could do a lot with that. I like the action figure model kits. I remember Zoids. Zoids Wild is, I believe the second season is airing or aired. Zoids Wild is the latest Zord series not Zords, Zoids series. I have not seen any of it. I cannot comment on if it's good. Yes, Zoids are pricey as hell. Yeah, indeed. Even the new ones, the new ones are limited in the numbers that they released, and the old ones just never got a re-release, and so they are very expensive. They are very expensive to find. At the time when I bought them as a young man buying uh, Zoids because I liked Zoids. Also, I want to point this out, folks. I've talked about this on a video I did where I ranked Toonami shows. If you were in the United States or Canada and you saw Zoids on television, you saw the second series first, and then you saw the first series. The first series was very motherfucking anime. The actual first series that didn't air in the U.S. Was this very cool past stuff, and there's legacy, and and it feels like this long war between these things. It's very JRPG, and also there are mechs with souls. And then they took the idea because they were like, well, toys are great, and then they tried to modernize it by making it a racing series, and it just so happened that the Liger had probably had some sort of a soul. And that's way more of a sellable show. So we got that season first. And then we got the Chaotic Century, which was the first one, second. Because it was well, now that's a name. And now we can put this other series out that came first. And is weirder because it's more it's more anime and less American. And then there's Wild, which I think is another like the very first series. But I remember watching it being why is there this little kid? And what's going on? What's happening to the show? What happened to the team that races? What's going on with Zoids? It was just that they were just doing a very different thing. I'm getting a Japanese import of the Perfectibility SD Unicorn Gundam. Ooh, nice. Look, there's so many beautiful. If you like Gundam stuff, they had the Gundam Expo, and Bandai, Specialty is putting a lot of beautiful kits out there. And yes, I saw the Hello Kitty, and yes, I do want it, and no, I'm probably not going to get it. I am waiting for a very big freelance payment to come in, and until that comes in, I have all my money goes into the things that is supposed to pay off, and then hopefully in the near future, I will have model kit money, and I will buy really cool things. Yes, the Hello Kitty sold out. Yeah, so I'm not expecting that. I know I have pre-orders of very cool things that I bought a long time ago that are coming out. Like in September, I'm gonna get that beautiful Death Scythe, and I'm gonna get the RG Talkies too. And I'm very excited to build both those kits. I'm having trouble with this one. I'm trying to see where it's lining up. It doesn't want to go in, but that is how it should go in. It should go in like this. We'll try lining the top up and lining the side up. Just not snapping in the way I would like it to. Frustrating. But yeah, so I have a couple kits coming, and I have a few kits coming in October, and then one coming in January, which was supposed to be December. That beautiful master grade of the Nautiku, the Altron from Endless Waltz, which I can't believe in 2021 I will finally build a master grade of that kit. I've done it in high grade, and that is one of the last master grades for Gundam Wing that I have not built. It's one of the few left. This is very frustrating because I've built almost all of them. I still haven't built the Sandrock Endless Waltz in a master grade. I've done it in a high grade, but I don't love that kit ever, so I think I'll be okay. What's your favorite MS from the Gundam Unicorn series? So here's the thing. I like Gundam Unicorn. It's not my fave, and it probably is the unicorn. Now, some people really dislike the unicorn and the Norn. The Banshee Norn, I think, is also a great. Like people dislike that. I think a lot of people feel like the unicorn is being shoved down their throats as like the next big cool Gundam, but I think it looks awesome. Uh, you have 8 kits coming next month. Hell yeah, Lastbrook. Hell yeah. Um, the unicorn looks sick. Destroyer mode, not so much. Yeah. Yeah, I think that people were like, "Hey, don't tell us to love the unicorn. We'll decide if we like it or not." Yeah, Bandai or Namco Bandai, the Sunrise, whoever you want to decide is in charge, really seems to want to push that. I mean, there's a unicorn in that weird retelling of the Three Kingdoms Gundam SD series, where there's a Lubu Gundam. Because there had to be at some point. This is really weird. I don't know why this like piece just is not popping in. It should be a pretty straightforward piece to get in there. I'm looking at the lines. The lines seem right. But yeah, this part of the kit here is just being incredibly frustrating. We'll look at how the other side went. Yeah, the other side went in pretty okay. Try this way here. These instructions aren't as detailed as you've often seen. And I just don't know this company too well. I do have another one of these on my wish list, and because there's a bird of prey, and yeah, I want to build a Klingon bird of prey, even if it's going to be, I imagine, incredibly tiny. All right, what I'm going to do here is. I'm going to see if I can put this one on the other side, and if that will magically work. Because sometimes they're meant to look perfect, but they're not. So okay, so that's going to go like that. It's going to go like that. To shove as much into an SD kit and to make it transformable. Yeah, exactly. Thinking outside the box, right? Yeah. A transformable SD kit is pretty great. That is always pretty remarkable when they can do that. Okay, so let's see. Should be right on the edge almost, if it's going to work. And I got the top done. Huh. I'm going to put my, actually I'm going to put my bandana on. Hold on a second here. I have central air in this place, which is fantastic, but my computer gets pretty hot. Hello, Bald Ridge. Happy to have you here. Things are going good. Working on a new kit here. This is my first time doing a Star Trek kit on the stream, or ever, actually. So definitely the first time on the stream, but also the first time for me personally. And run into a little hitch here where I don't seem to want to get this piece, doesn't seem to want to go in the way it certainly should. And that has been a bit frustrating. But other than that, this kit has been pretty straightforward. We're going to have a lot of decals to put on, but other than that, it's pretty good. Alright, so I can get that piece in. Let me try to see if I can just pop this out. And maybe put it on the other side. I don't know if that looks good. But yeah, I'm a sucker for kits that transform, that actually look good as they transform. Sometimes they don't look good. Y'all have been there, you've seen that, right? Sometimes they just don't look good. But also sometimes the transformations aren't good that they have to replicate in the kit anyway, right? So it's like, well, the Epion flight mode, the Twin Dragon Head, never looked particularly incredible. It's not the best part. It's not the, a great part of the Epion anyway. So the transfer of that, like, is good, but it's not great. I never minded the Tallgeese 3, going. But also, as some folks, viewers who watch the streams a lot know, I'm a sucker for a Knight style model kit. Unless I move back to Hawaii, I never want to live without AC again. Yeah, I'm really comfortable with. I got really comfortable with, this central air, like, and which other people just call air conditioning, but I call it central air because it is throughout the house instead of a air conditioner unit in every room, which is what I was used to in the past. Um, yeah, I just can't get this piece to line up right. It goes in okay on one side or on the top and not okay on the bottom, or okay on the top, bottom and not okay on the top, and I don't know why. Let me see if I can wedge this piece out. Try to swap it. That might work. But also, will it want to pop out? I don't want to break it, obviously. Okay. So we'll try it on the other side and see if that just suddenly magically works. Because sometimes it will. Swamp cooler. So I can find the things I need. Can you tell me what I need to apply decals? So, um, you don't really need anything to apply decals. I'll tell you the tools that I have. So, you've got your decals, right? I've got a cup with some water in it. Not too much, some water. I've got um, some Q-tips to slide to cut once it comes off and wet, to slide it off the back of the paper that it is attached to. I've got tweezers to hold it because you need to hold with tweezers. I've got an X-Acto knife to cut things out. Now, could you do this with scissors instead of an X-Acto knife? Yeah, if you've got good, sharp, tiny scissors, you could do that. I have an X-Acto knife for this very reason, to remove them out. So I'm going to be cutting them out with that. Then I will be taking the tweezers, putting the piece in the water, allowing the water helps it separate from its backing. Then you take that out, you put it near where you want to put the thing, and then you're going to use your Q-tip, which you're going to dip your Q-tip in the water to get it wet. You're going to slide it over to where you want, position it where it should be, then use the dry part of a Q-tip or a separate Q-tip to dry it out, and then you let it dry from the back in, and it will adhere to where you've applied. If you paint and you're going to apply decals over paint, you can make sure that paint is incredibly dry before you do that. Some people put a clear coat on after. There's a spray you can put on after to hold it together. Because I will not be displaying this forever, I am not going to worry about that. I don't have that on me to apply it, but that is a thing that you can do if so inspired. Uh, my grandma used to have window units and swamp coolers, but they moved off the ranch and bought a house in the city with AC. Hell yeah. Yeah, no, New York, I had one apartment had a unit that had window units, and then I lived in an apartment that did not have any because we wanted to save money on electricity, and we just had a ton of fans. And there was only like a month and a half a year where it just sucked, where I would move my head. I would sleep differently than normal so that I could be near the window where I had a window unit fan, uh, just because otherwise I wouldn't be able to sleep. That was not fun, but you make do. Uh, I got family down South Texas, and they were watching Morrow and Laura to see if they were going to turn towards them. Oh well, I hope everyone's all right. Anybody in the Gulf region watching this, I hope you're okay. We had our tropical storm that ended up kind of petering out that was going to come through this area here, and it luckily didn't. But we got pretty close to that, and got a little freaked out. I would love for this to work, and it is not, folks, and I have been at this for a while, so I might just move on and apply these later. On my own dang time, I might apply these clear pieces, although I prefer to not do that and to just go for it. But if they're not going to go in properly, I'm not going to wait around all night for it. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing all right and staying safe. Folks in the Midwest, Folks in California, obviously. Lots of places dealing with a lot of stuff right now, weather-wise. And that sucks, and I'm sorry. Okay. So at least let me get these pieces in. If I can't get all of it together, I can get those in. At least I can do that portion. And then we'll see if I can get these other. Maybe if they're connected, they will want to go in. Oh, come on. Come on. Get in there. The back pieces went in just fine. Yeah, California be safe indeed, right? So, rough times. Oops. This is a fun thing where it's like, when it's like a Gundam kit, I'm like, oh, this is me. I'm not reading the directions right. But because I've never built one of these, I'm like, am I not reading the directions right, or is this bullshit? Like, this could just be poorly designed, or it could be that, like, I'm fucking up, like, getting these pieces in. It could be either. Maybe I'm just really bad at this, or maybe this kit isn't that good, and I don't know. Occasionally, you will find a kit that's not particularly incredible of the Gundam variety. There are some HDs that are kind of bad. Some of the very early real grades are kind of a pain in the ass. I think the later versions are great, and if it's a high grade from no, yeah, it's not great. The instruction sheet has like very little information. It has the numbers for it, and that is pretty much all it is going to give you, which is okay. It's not the worst thing. I've actually had worse instructions, but that Optimus Prime I built a while back had really bad instructions. That was an awful build. I know some people like those kits, but I really didn't enjoy that. That kit was really bad. But I know some people like those. I mean, I like Transformers. I just think that line isn't good. Okay, so we got that in. Okay, so that's in. Can we get this piece in? We got it on one side. Can we do it on the other? Try to angle it in, maybe. Close enough. We got it close enough. We're going to call that. No, that's not in. I don't want to call that in because it's not in. There. I did it. I did it. These pieces are a pain in the fucking ass, and I'm glad that I got it done. Oops. Yeah. All right. Good enough. Moving on. Okay. All right. We got a few pieces here. We're going to put on the bottom right here of the ship, and then we'll put together the stands, and then we'll start worrying about decals and doing all that part. SD Banshee, silver backing, just regular decals. I looked up the SD Banshee, and the sheet of the silver backing are just regular decals. You can treat them like any other sticker. I might suggest some tweezers. The green sheet are water slide decals, and work with Pat to scrap. Yes, so these are water slides that we're going to be doing here. Now, sometimes if you're building a Gundam kit, you'll have a smaller sheet that's going to have a silver backing to it. I happen to have one right here. If your sheet looks like this, these are stickers. I apply these with an X-Acto knife, but you can use tweezers. You can use, if you have a sponger like this, if you've got, I don't know, the end of a nail file, like one of those ones that you can hook underneath, whatever you want to use. But if you have stickers with this kind of backing, these are regular old stickers, and you just want to apply them slowly. And then if it has this isn't going to have that, but if it looks like this or it's green in the back, These are going to be water transfers. Lashbrook, thank you for doing the research. I appreciate your assistance. Let's try to figure out. Let's try to read these numbers here to see what we need to do. Because these are 106 and 108. All right. Well, actually, let's do these because I know what these look like there. But yeah, and if it's a super deformed kit, it probably doesn't have any water slides. It probably just has traditional stickers. But some might. But most super deformed are just going to be have regular old stickers. The nice thing about Gundams is, you don't really need to put the water transfers on them. You certainly can. I, on occasion, will. Um, I would say if you see that the Figure Rise kits, the Bandai kits, if you ever want to build a boat from One Piece, you're gonna want to put stickers on that kit because it's not gonna look as good without stickers on those. Those really want stickers. They're mostly stickers, and a lot of SD kits are also mostly stickers as well. From uh, the old Gundam SDs, because that gives a lot of detailing, right? Because obviously, look, there's details in this. You can see there's some details. There's some, especially in the bottom here. There's some stuff going on here, but it doesn't pop without the stickers. So it's gonna need those. But let's get our pieces here. This doesn't do that. I wish it did. It does that part, which is fine. I can tell what those are, and those look identical. So we'll take these out first. Yeah. I just slide these out. These are identical, so we'll put these in first. Back here. Little nub I gotta remove. Sometimes you gotta remove the littlest of nubs. And there. Okay. Let's get that back on here. And yep, all right. There. This feels weird because you're really pushing them far back in there, but these aren't things that stick out. They're like stuff you can see on the inside. So you're doing it right if you're shoving them all the way in and you can't see them. That's technically accurate, even though they do want to pop out. So maybe that's not accurate. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think they want to go really far in. Let's see about getting these back in here. And yeah, as we've alluded to, these instructions are not that detailed. They're like, here's the piece. There's where they go. It's like, okay. All right, that snapped in, that snapped in. We got two more pieces here to put in. Which is these here. And then we'll start doing some decal work. Let's see. So yeah, yesterday afternoon, I should say, I was a guest on the Fantastic. Very happy to be there. Loading Ready Run, who are fantastic people, and it was a pleasure to be on a stream with them. I was on Kathleen's island tour, which is an Animal Crossing stream. It was very fun to be on. I was very happy to be invited. I've been on one before, so that was really fun. Um, got to visit a community island. There was a somebody has set up a an island that were like a murder mystery that's afoot, and you had to go like to an Instagram and hear like confessions, and it was like very detailed and very fucking cool. I had a really great time exploring that. That was a neat part of the stream, and yeah, I'm going to be on next week, which is neat. Was not expecting that. Got asked to go on there. They're very nice people, and I'm going to do it next week with some other rad folks, and that'll be fun. All right, I'm going to try to get these on with tweezers because this piece is being weird. Okay, so I want to remove this nubbin. But yeah, that was fun. Sounds fun. It was. It was really fun. We went to the Loading Ready Run community has a very active on Discord, and the so we went to one of the people's two people who are community members. Check out their islands, and that was really fun. It was neat to see what they're up to, and one of them. We were there playing in the afternoon, but one of them was in Australia, so it was 6 a.m. for them, which is a huge commitment that I really appreciate. I thought that was really rad. Um, did you see the new Yakuza Like a Dragon trailer? I think the game will be everything we want it to be. You can hit enemies with a frying pan and then grind pepper on them to finish the attack. Yeah, I saw that trailer. Look, I'm really psyched about that game. That game comes out in November. I'm very excited about it. I really like the Yakuza series. I'm excited for the new mechanics, the new style that it's going to be having. I think that's going to be rad. Why did that pop out? Why did that pop out? All right, forget it. I'm not doing these little tiny pieces. Did you hear me, folks? I'm putting them aside. I'm not going to worry about these little tiny pieces. Tough titties. We're going to move on. We're gonna put this on a stand. We're going to see how the stand looks. I'm going to put these aside. Little tiny lights on the bottom that aren't real anyway. It's going to be okay. So we got this here, and then we're going to need oh, these are these the pieces that I was looking for. Just have the wrong pieces. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about these tiny little pieces. Forget it. It's okay. Then we got a stand that we could put this on if we wanted to. Not super worried about that either. No one will judge you, right? I'm just glad we no longer have to play as a child. Yes. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. So this, like, I guess this gets removed, and then you can pop that on there. You need the little pieces. This goes on here. Yeah, that's neat. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a photo of this. I'm going to take a photo of this as it is here, just untouched, because it's nice to document. And then we're going to start add some decals on in a moment or two. I knew this was going to be a quick assembly, and the decals would be interesting. So that is the decal list on a stand. Nice to just have some photographic evidence, and then we'll get started on actually putting together some of the decals here. Yes, you do play as a kid in one of the Yakuza games. The Yakuza games are so weird. I would say if Zero is cheap, because I think it will be, Yakuza 0 is a great place to start. Obviously, it is a prequel, but it is, a really solid game engine. I think it's a very fun, inventive game, and I think it plays really well. No, not the whole thing, but there's just sections where you're playing as a kid. There's a whole lot of weirdness when it comes to that whole thing, the whole thing. Okay, so we got some cardboard here to kind of do some cuts. Put that aside, so I'm not cutting directly into my table. Yeah, just parts of 5 and 6. Yeah. Okay, so actually, oh, I think 0 is so great. I think that it's stylistically just so fun. Uh, and decidedly retweeted, which is very nice. Thank you, decidedly. Um, okay, so what's going to happen actually right now is, folks that are new to the stream, I am now going to talk to you. This is my ad break. This is a pause for the cause. This is going to be really short. This is like 5 minutes, so you don't go anywhere. We're going to get into decals real soon. We're going to do some decals. But first, I'm just going to talk to you, Pat, to audience, about ways you can support the channel if you would like to. You're under no obligation to do so. All of this is optional. But I'm doing this stuff, and if you would like to help out, you're more than welcome to. Yes, so, get a drink, check your messages, check, see what's going on your phone. But I'm going to talk to you about ways you can support me and the channel. And you're under no obligation to do so, but these are some options. These are some ways to support if you like what I do and want to help out. You can. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat. Scythe emote is for Tier 2 subscribers. The Lego and the Bear Cave emote is for anyone that is a subscriber. You can subscribe using Cash Money if you want to do that. You also, if you have Amazon Prime, you can link that. And you have a Prime Gaming account on Twitch then, and then you could support me that way. That is a way you can do it. It's time to drink a little water. I'll drink a little water. Thank you for that. That is a way to support me if that's a thing you'd like to do. You can also gift a sub. Gift subs are great. You join the leaderboard. A&G is the top of the leaderboard right now. If you gift a sub to somebody, just as a nice way to pay it forward if you're already a subscriber, or if that's just something you it's not for you, but you'd like to support somebody, you could do that. Bits and coins, always appreciated. I thank you for that. I have a Patreon. As I said, folks, we're going to get back to decal work, but I do like to mention that I have a Patreon. Patreon.com/PatBaer. There's a $1 and a $3 tier there. If $5 a month isn't your thing, or you don't want to support Twitch that way by being part of the system, because I'm an affiliate, so they get a cut as well, of course. But you could do Patreon. And that all directly supports me. Now, and everything I make through Patreon and Twitch and direct donations goes to buying kits and equipment. I'm really good on equipment right now. I got my eyes on there, but if you wanted to donate me directly here, you could do that. Jalaviz, I'll talk to you in a second at the end of the ad break thing and figure out how to do that. I don't know how to do that, but yes. But we'll talk about that. But yeah, so the drink links, if you're like, hey, I don't want to join Patreon or whatever, but here's $1 whatever, if you would, if you want to support what we do here. And yeah, all that goes into buying kits and equipment. That's how I continue to do things. Also, if you're not following me, I'm going to be working on a a high grade coming up, and I stream Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. model kit building, 2 hours streams, and then on every Wednesday, I do something else. This Wednesday, I'm playing Hearthstone. I always do a bonus thing every Wednesday. But yeah, actually, let me do my schedule. There you go. We'll get through this real quick. We'll get back to building in just a moment or two. I have an Amazon wish list. If you wanted to buy something on that wish list, I would jump ahead the queue I have. It will just jump right ahead, and it's the next thing I build. I've got very inexpensive Lego sets on there. I've got more expensive high-grade kits and much more expensive master-grade kits. The Polar Lights USS Grinson and Klingon Bird of Prey, the snap kits, that's in there. Yeah, real grades, high grades, master grades, inexpensive, very expensive, all kinds of different stuff in there. Stuff with free shipping, stuff without. But anyway, you buy it off my wish list. It comes to me. I build it on stream, and I make a little video when I arrive, my mailbag video. So that's one way to do it. Uh, did my donation work? You said. Yes, it did. Thank you very much. That went through coffee. I appreciate that very much. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, that rules. That did go through. It didn't show up here. Only Streamlabs, only my Streamlabs donations integrate, which is annoying. But coffee, it did go through. Thank you very much. I appreciate that so much. But yeah, we'll get back to building in just a moment. Also, if you don't want to go through Amazon, and I fucking get it, well, there's an alternative. You could buy me a gift card for USA Gundam Store. You go to USA Gundam Store, you click on the gift cards, and then you whisper me on Twitch or you DM me on Twitter. My DMs are open, so you could do that. And you're like, hey, I bought you this gift card. I got an email with this code. Here you go. And then I'll buy something for USA Gundam Store. They're a Florida based company. Jelpa says I got a hilarious amount of P Bandais and Expo only kits. I might give some stuff away. Well, that rules. That's awesome. Why don't you? I'll hit you up. Yeah, DM me on Twitter. I'll get to it probably tomorrow because I do. I have a meeting after this because they're on the West Coast and they want a late night Monday meeting, and I was like, I mean, it's not that late for them, but I was like, I could meet after my stream if you want to get on Zoom. So I have a thing after this, which is weird to say. Usually this is the end of my night. But yeah, hit me up. Yeah, I would love to figure out how to do a giveaway. All right, I have a Discord. That's more fun. That's less like, hey, give me stuff if you want to give me stuff. And it's more like, hey, I do this thing. My Discord. People post photos of things they work on. I post photos of every kit that I build. A lot of times people were like, hey, check out this thing. Or, hey, I want to link to this. It's a nice little community. You know, it is not that active, but it's a nice group of folks in the Discord because my chat is really nice. Let's see. What do we need to do now? Links to videos. Pat Bear's Anime Club. I talk about websites, YouTube channels with commentary I really like. Pat Bear's Anime Club is a video series that I do about different anime topics. And this one was, what YouTube series do I enjoy? People that make commentary or news, that kind of thing. So just some YouTube channels that I think are great in the world of anime. And then Baering the List is a ranking series because people like to use Tier Maker to rank things. Uh, and yes, and Baering the List is another cool series that I do. Yes, I will contact you and we will talk about that, about giving away a kit because that seems neat. And so yes, we will definitely chat about that, making a note of it. So yeah, Pat Bear's Baering the List is a video series that I do. If you want to hear my opinion on various flavors of Pringles, that's the way to do it. That's how you find out that is watch that video. All right. We got through all that. We're gonna start working on decals. I'm also gonna talk about anime because if you're new to the stream, the second hour of every stream is dedicated to talking about anime that came out since my last stream, which is a thing I kind of fell into, but now it's very fun to talk about that. So I'm going to talk about that while we start to figure out how to do some of these decals because there are a lot of decals. So let's get into it and let's look at these. This is instructions on how to paint and like what colors to use. These are all numbers. If there's a number with a dark background there, those are decals and where to apply them. So we are going to start to figure out where these go. We'll kind of try to go with some easy ones here, and then maybe get into some that are a bit more difficult as we go through. I know how to apply number 57, USS Defiant. That's going to go, right over here. So that is not a hard thing to do. We can get that done. Or 63 is going to go on there. So maybe we'll start with that because that's very easy. Yeah, so we'll do that one first. All right. So One Piece. Not a lot of action in this one. Well, there was some action in this episode. So, um, uh, the guy that smiles and laughs all the time. That used to be a. This episode was a lot about this guy used to be a big deal. Um, but Yashu has been imprisoned, and he is taking the blame as being the master thief that's been going around. We know that that's not him. We don't know who it is, but we know it's not him. He's not the master thief. He's just trying to help people uh, and take the scent off the person that is doing that. But we know that's not him. But he's going to get killed. And then Holden, that's the guy with the lion in his belly. We saw him before. He has been tricked into thinking that Shutamaru, who used to be part of Odin's guard, but is now a bandit, he believes that that bandit man has stolen from him. And so there's a big fight. But that is just to try to get those bandits to help the revolution. It's just a lot of plot. But then Toko, the laughing girl that we've seen before, she freaks the fuck out when she hears. There's a good bit of business where Brooke, who is acting like a ghost, scares the shit out of them. But then she finds out from him that her dad is going to get executed, and so she's like rushing towards the capital to kind of take care of that. So that was a big thing, but it looks like she's going to get some backup going with her, and hopefully things will work out. Yeah, there's also going to be the Momo's sister, who we didn't know that, who is believed to be dead. They're going to have a funeral for her, and it's a whole thing. It's just a whole thing. Not a lot of fight. Last episode was all these fights, and it fucking ruled. This episode, not that many fights. In fact, very little that mattered. So that is kind of a bummer. All right, so we put the piece in there. We're going to let that saturate a little bit. Then we're going to put it. We know where it's going to go, which is why I'm starting with that. And we will apply it there. But we don't want to let it get too wet here. We're going to let it wet. And then we are going to kind of line up where we want it. And then we will take one of our tweezers that's wet. Or sorry, not tweezers. Q-tips that's wet. Take the piece here. And we'll slide this over. This apart. Slide this up. And this is what we want. There. Okay. Now we're going to take the dry end of the Q-tip and we're going to lightly pat it. We're not going to press down too much. Well, we'll press down on it to get the water out, but we're not trying to maneuver it. Now, if you did mess this up, you can use the wet Q-tip again to kind of get it there and try to we're just going to blot out some of the excess water. Is this perfect? No. Is it pretty good? Yeah. I'm pretty happy with that. And then we're just going to let that part dry there. And we're going to feel pretty okay about that. Yep. We're going to feel pretty all right about that first application. So yeah, this episode of One Piece, not as exciting as previous episodes of One Piece, but also not bad, just not as exciting. All right, so let's see. Let's do the USS Defiant portion here. That's over here. And we'll... this is not the sharpest X-Acto knife in the world, unfortunately. I need a new blade, but I wasn't going to buy blades when I was moving, and I just haven't gotten them yet. But I will at some point. So, the other anime show that I watched is Ninja Collection. This episode, these are like 5-minute little mini episodes. The idea is that there are monsters and demons in the world, and there are ninjas that take care of them for us. And these are little vignettes. None of them are connected, other than that a ninja, one of four ninjas, is going to take care of it at the end. Um, and they're just like little tiny stories. They're kind of fun. It's a very short series. It's limited animation, which I think is really stylistically cool. I know some people don't like it, but I think it looks pretty dang neat. So I've been a big fan of it. I've been watching the episodes. This one, there's a guy and he sees an owl and he's freaking out about this dang owl. And why is his owl looking at him? Why this owl following him? What's going on? He's just freaking out. We're seeing it from his perspective of him freaking the fuck out, running home. What's going on with this owl? I'm going to eat this owl. I'm going to kill this owl. And you're like, wait, what? What's happening? Why is he going to kill this owl? What's this guy's fucking deal? Why is he going to murder an owl? What are you talking about? And then you're like, oh, he was a demon. And the owl was hunting him down so that the ninja could kill him. Got it. Now you know. That was the fucking thing. Uh, okay, cool. That was pretty dang cool. Short and kind of neat. This is the second time that the main character that we've been following, the twist has been that they are, that they are the baddie. The other times it has been other people. Has mostly been normal people. Uh-oh. All right, so now I get to teach you what happens if what happened here. The sticker has separated from the paper in the water, which happens on occasion. So we have to move a little quicker about figuring out where we want to put this, where it needs to go, and applying it. So this is going to go like pretty even there. So we're going to take our sticker up. This happens on occasion. Do we prefer it didn't go this way? Yes. Are we going to make do with it? Yes. Also yes. Okay, so that fell. So we're just going to really quickly take it how we want it. We're going to apply. Now we could have applied the ones with shading beforehand that are going to go around it, but I'm okay with that. I'm living dangerously. I also don't know if I'm going to apply every single sticker. Okay, so then we're going to put that there. That looks good. And then we will just to dry it some without moving it too much. Okay, that looks pretty great. I'm pretty happy with that. So it's sort of a sticker on the paper. Yes. So what we are doing here. The reason we're using water is we are basically with water. The sticker part is going to come off the paper backing, and then you can move it over there. And then when it dries, it's then going to adhere to wherever you placed it. Now the hopeful thing is that you are going to put there and then kind of slide it in. Looks like almost some sort of vinyl, the lettering detail. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. So that is basically what you need to do. We've gotten the gist of that, which I'm pretty happy with. So that's cool. Okay, the other anime I want to talk about, because I only watched 3 shows that come out Sunday and Monday. Although technically One Piece comes out on Saturday, but during the stream, so can't talk about then. So Dawi in God of High School, he got involved in a match that he wasn't technically in, so then he is being punished, and that punishment is that he cannot take part in the next round of the tournament. So we're going to find out who they're going to face, and there are shenanigans afoot about that. There's some fighting. This episode was a lot of like small little pieces. It was Maury's birthday, and they celebrated that at the end. We had like a nice friend fun moment that was pretty neat. I was pretty jazzed about that because it's fun. You know, it's fun friendship, found friendship. They're still very competitive with each other, which is also cool. 18 and 19. We found 18 and 19. 17's there. 14, 15, 11. These are all over the place here. 21, 22, 24, 30. We got here. Oh, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Baer is driving. Yeah, these numbers are all over the place. So we need 18 and 19. 9, 10, 13, 14, 14, 15. These ones, 42, 41, 17. This is very entertaining, I'm sure. Me slowly searching for numbers for. There are 18 and 19. There, I found them. Okay, we got them. We got there. Yeah, I had to head out. It was fun hanging out with you in chat. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Of course, also, folks, thanks to everybody for being here. I really appreciate it. But yeah, okay, so got to high school, which I really recommend. Maury celebrates his birthday. He meets a guy that did really well. He's not using the special techniques that other folks have been using. And apparently, he got inspired by Maury's grandfather, uh, who used to know this kid's grandfather. So that was cool. But he's definitely, everyone at this point is way more advanced in battle and technique and way stronger than our heroes. And so some of them are like, oh, I'm going to figure out my techniques. And Dawi is trying to learn the special arts. And then Mori is like, I want to get stronger, but I don't want to use other people's powers. I want to use my own powers, which is interesting. But I don't know what's going to happen there with that. But it was interesting. And then also, we kind of knew that his grandfather had been kidnapped and got hurt, and then we found out that that is true. The cult has him, and now Mori knows, and that may be a way to get him to come to a place or something. Who knows? It could be a trap. It's probably a trap, but I don't know. We'll find out in the next episode. Is it a trap or not? All right, let's do this one first here. Pop this in. It was an okay episode. Like I said, it was a lot of like, these are things that are happening, and here's the thing, and oh, we found out Dawi knows how to cook really well because he's always had a lot of part-time jobs to help pay for his friend of his surgery. So it's like, okay, and we're learning more about these characters. That's cool. Um, Overall, okay episode. There was some action in the very beginning, but not a lot. And the guy who can command a shark, a demon shark, showed up to be an asshole. And it was like, okay. It's like, okay. Alright, so we put this here. We are going to this over. We're going to line up where it should go. You can see the plastic is going to be my guide for this piece here. But we'll then just get the wet side here. Slide it over. Of course, I have multiples of this part as well. If you have any questions about decals, water transfer applications, anything like that, feel free to let me know. If you have any thoughts on this stuff or any questions or comments or tips, if you've got a pro tip, you could also let me know your pro tips. I wouldn't mind hearing them if you've got any pro tips about this. And now, where's the dry side? I'm going to grab a different one for the dry. Pat it dry. Yeah. All right. Now we'll do the other side just like that. Like I said, this is my first time doing a kit from this company. Overall, I'm used to a little bit more detailed. Letting the plastic speak for itself, letting the colors be that. Maybe some stickers to highlight. This kit obviously demands a lot of decals to make this work. And that's not necessarily my favorite, but I'm not opposed to it. Every now and again, I wouldn't want this to be the thing that I do all the time. And also, you can look at here. I'm not doing all of these. I want to do like some of the top because I want to stand out. I want to put the NX74205 On the sides, the Defiant. I want to say it on the sides to say Defiant because that looks fucking cool. So I want that to be on the sides. But like, there's a lot of these decals, and I'm not gonna get crazy with it because that's just not my style. Um, but yeah, got any questions, comments, concerns, anything you want to chat about? You let me know if you got questions about model kits in general. This specifically. Um, if you want to let me know what you watching any anime right now, let me know what you're watching. Maybe I'm watching it too. I am watching quite a few shows um, in a variety of styles. I'm not watching everything because I don't like everything. Um, but like, can't tell you what just happened in Al. I can tell you what happened in the last week's episode of Sword Art Online Alicization Part 2 or whatever because I'm I don't live under a rock, so I know that Kirito is back. Uh, oh, weird, the main character came back, but like beyond that, can't really tell you. Uh, I just started The Great Pretender on Netflix. Oh, I hear really good things about that. I hear very good things about Great Pretender. You watch any non-current stuff? So Mudun, I during this time period where I had some extra time, uh, I started and now am caught up with Haikyuu. So Haikyuu's not super old, obviously, but also Haikyuu has been out for a little bit because they're deep into the series now. Um, and I did watch. I am now caught up on that series. I say I don't like sports anime, but I do like really good sports anime apparently. So I'm watching that, and that has been great. And then I haven't really gone back to anything in a while, like old stuff in a while. Usually at the end of a season, with that break where there's a couple weeks where there's only like one show or maybe two shows that started late, but a bunch of stuff has ended, is when I kind of hit the random button or maybe go back and check some stuff out in prep for like the next series or like um, this is a bad example, but like the second season series of a regular at Magic School is coming out next season. So if I hadn't already rewatched that series not too long ago, I might go back and check that out again in preparation because it's been a while. But that's a series that I happen to go back to on occasion because it is enjoyable to me. I like that series, so I often go back and check that out again because I do like watching it. All right, so let's do 75. That's this one here. All right. Um, Newbie anime question: are there multiple seasons in a calendar year? Yes. So there are four, Aristophan. There is winter, which is winter, spring, summer, and fall. Now, technically, the fall is the end of the year. It's like the last season uh, at the end of the year that starts in October, and then the winter season is like December, and then spring and summer are that. But yeah, um, winter. Yeah, winter's like the first season of the year basically. Um, and it's not every show. Like obviously, there are ongoing shows. Like Black Clover is an ongoing. One Piece is an ongoing. They're generally shonen. There are also some romantic shows or dramas that are ongoings. Um, but most of the time, like a series is just going to be on for a season, or it could be a double length and be there, or broken up and it'll come out the same year, but it'll be separated by a season. Uh, like it got delayed, but the next season of um, that time I got reincarnated as slime, there's going to be the first half of it, then a break, and there'll be a chibi side story series, like a little spin off, and then the second half of the season. But it's a double length, so you still get the full season thing. Series, I should say, like series 2. Instead of just being, here are 24 or 26 episodes all in a row, they will take a break with that series and do the first half, second half. Um, and then yeah, there'll be something in between. But most of the time, it's like around like some shows start the same time. Like, oh, this week 3 shows started, and then next week another 2 started. Um, but there's always this little period where things are ending and new things are about to start. And then there's like a week where there was only like 1 show or just the ongoings. And it's fine, but I certainly prefer to get, all my good stuff together at once. Because it's just better that way. um, But yeah, so usually the in between, I'm like, well, what's coming out now? What's out? Like, what did I miss? What did I skip? That's why, because there are a couple shows that I like that, like, I didn't like watching it week to week, but I liked watching it, like, binging it and going through it all together, or marathoning it is the better term, really. Um, like, oh yeah, no, that's accurate. No, like when I watched Ascendance of a Bookworm. The first season I bounced off of because I just wasn't really liking it, and then I really enjoyed it watching like a bunch of episodes in a row. And so I did the same thing with this second season because I was like, actually, I don't want to watch more of this like right now. I want to watch this later. Okay, so this is gonna go like this. All right. I wish I had a clamp for this. I think I'm just gonna have to hold it on there. This is gonna go, yeah, just kind of in the middle. No, this goes above the line. So yes, it's gonna go like that. It's not a good. There's not a good indicator of where this goes, for sure. But about there is kind of where it is. All right, so actually, let me just, yeah. Just gonna use the. All right, and then get this really wet here, and really get this wet, and then I'm gonna straighten it out with this, trying not to rip it. Okay, so yeah, basically right over the line here. Gonna do it like that. Okay, and then I will take this and dry it off. Is this perfect? No. That's okay though. I'm not looking for perfect. I'm looking for psych that I did this. Is kind of what I'm going for. I already think this looks cool. Like I said, uh, I will probably do some more of these, and really try to spruce it up. I might do some of these on Thursday, which is going to be my next build stream. I also have a high grade model kit to do there, so I'll be doing that as well. Yeah. All right. Apply this. I want to put that in the water for a little longer. We'll just put that in there for just a little longer. But yeah, thanks to everybody that decided to come check it out. I do model kit building, as I said. My next stream actually isn't going to be a building stream because it's Wednesday at 9 p.m. So my next build stream, we got time left here on the stream, don't worry. But I like promoting myself. But my next actual stream, is going to be on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm going back to Hearthstone. I got a deck that's really fun. It's a hand buff hunter deck, and I never do those. So it's kind of been fun to play around with. Basically, I'm making some big beasts, and then I'm playing the big beasts and going face to try to win. Does it work great against aggro? No. Does it work pretty great against control? Yeah, it does, because they don't see it coming. Suddenly, turn 6 or turn 7, I can just win out of nowhere, do massive damage. Does it always work? No, it does not, but it's fun. So I got that deck. I'm pretty happy with that deck. All right, so this moved. So we'll put that there. And now we're going to dry it without moving it. So what we'll actually do is kind of hold it down a little bit here. Oops. Oops. Not perfect, folks. Nobody's perfect. And people are. Also, if I wanted to do a perfect job with this, I wouldn't be streaming right now. I'd be taking my sweet time home, well, where I am here, just on my own time. And I wouldn't do it in front of anybody. And that would guarantee a better outcome. Also played, even playing a budget Face Hunter deck, which has been pretty fun. I'm thinking of crafting a few more expensive cards for it. Nice. Also playing an odd Shaman while trying that out. I mean, my Evolve Shaman deck is terrible, but I love it. My Invoke Shaman card deck is still good. It just doesn't have, the major problem is, oh, good night. See you later, Harold. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hosting, as always. The major problem with the deck I've been playing in Hearthstone, my Evolve deck, is that there's no new Shaman cards that make it better. All the Shaman cards that are out right now are for spells and spell burst, and that's not what I'm doing. I'm evolving. They just didn't put out any Evolve cards for me, which is frustrating because put out cards that make my deck better. They didn't do that this time. Maybe they will in the future. They didn't now. Alright, so okay, we've got this part on here, we got this part on here. These are the, to me, important pieces that I definitely wanted to be on there. There's a couple more on the other side that I would like, but I really don't want to flip this over and risk any of these moving. I'd like to just let them set. So we're just going to work on anything on the top here, and then on Thursday, I'll be more comfortable with flipping this over to work on the back. So we're just going to look at some pieces, 22 and 23. We'll find where those are and what color those might be. Okay, that's not what we want. That's not what we want. 1, 3, that's not what we want. These numbers are all over the place, obviously. It's just where they could fit them in. So finding the numbers we need here, this 21 and 22, that is not what we want. 28, 13, and 16. Why can't I find 22 and 23? 17. 22 and 23. Okay, right over here. Great. Yeah, the odd shaman is definitely spell focused. Yes. Oh yeah, the legendary. Yeah, that's kind of why I've been. Oops, that came off. That's not good. That's why I've been playing my my hunter deck, because I got the legendary hunter that either becomes a copy of a beast or um, gives every beast in your deck +1/+1. And I was like, well, if I have that, I should build a beast deck that takes advantage of it. So I've been doing that because it's a great card for that. Why are you? There we go. But yeah, I usually just kind of like guide. If I get a legendary, I just use that as my guide because that's fun for me. But yeah, I'm not really into spell burst as a mechanic right now, so I kind of just been doing other stuff and enjoying it though. Still always enjoying it. It's Hearthstone. It's Hearthstone, baby. I like it. Still like it. I am surprised it won the poll, but yeah, it did. Okay. Okay. Oops. Yeah, so we're just going to put some stickers on here, or decals on here for the rest of the stream, and then on Thursday, then it will be the next time I build, we'll do the bottom portion of it, because I don't want to go, that's 23, which is this one. Yeah, I don't want to go I don't want to flip this over. I want to give plenty of time for all these pieces to dry. I also don't want to do ones that like overlay with others. Try to run any risks here. Okay, and then it's this piece here. Great. And then we're going to just dry this by patting it, not putting pressure on it, just trying to dry it up a little bit. Looks pretty good. And then we'll do the other one. Yep. I know plenty of people that do this kind of work have podcasts going on. This is a great podcast activity where you can just kind of like listen to what's going on, not feel like you need to engage with it. It's not like you could be active with it. This is a great podcast activity. So like I said, I certainly on stream wouldn't do all of these, but I'm going to do like some major components. But I might on my own go back and like add some more cool stuff here, at least especially to the top. Maybe not to the bottom side, like too much on the bottom, just because it is, uh, you know, uh, you won't see it. But I might do some. Okay, put that in there, and then dry, dry, pat, dry, pat, dry, pat, dry, pat, dry. And then what's the middle piece look like? That is it 30? No. 30. These lines here. Okay. This is like good for me because this is a thing that like I don't do a lot of. So it has been kind of neat to uh as I said to like get in there and be like, "Oh yeah, I don't really do this too often." So kind of fun to get in there and put on some decals. All right, so that is 30. That's a little square right there. Got it. Let's cut that out and transfer it over. Yeah, so for folks that are new, I often do a lot of um, just the regular stickers. And occasionally I'll have kits that have dry transfers, but dry transfers are much more rare these days. And dry transfers I have definitely fucked up before. Definitely messed that up. That is a harder thing to really get that rubbing transfer on right. And then also to let it set and not touch it and then not freak out if you messed it up. Water transfers are certainly a bit more, or wet transfers are a bit more forgiving because you can wet it and kind of move them around before they set. And then, of course, the most forgiving, best thing in the world is if you're putting decals on Lego, you can really pull that up if you put it on wrong and really get it back on where you need it, which is great. And as I said, this kit isn't that old, so the water transfers are very easy to do. This has been very simple to get where we want them. And that's going to go kind of like there. Yeah. Going to go in here. So let's get that a little wet. And then that goes basically. Yeah. It's going to fold. That's a folding one. So that is weird. That is unusual. So I'm glad we're doing it. All right. So I haven't done a water transfer or a transfer sticker that has me folding it before, so that's interesting. So let's draw there, draw there. That actually came out almost perfect. I'm pretty happy with that. There was a fold there. It's a 3D space. And I was like, oh no. Oh, why did I pick this one? Why am I doing this one? But that doesn't look too bad. Okay. I can do these big decal sections here. Uh, Maybe I should have done them before I did this part, but whatever. Do I want to do those big sections or do I not want to do those big sections? Let's see. Let's do 8 and 11. Give us some shadows here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that, folks. Let's figure out something that's going to look. Oh, that's what we should put on. We should do some stuff on here. That's definitely what we should do. Uh, yeah, we should put 1 on there. So we got to figure out where 1 is. 1 is 1 is the loneliest number, but also 1 is this front piece there. Yeah, and then oh, okay, great. So we'll do that. You gotta do the windshield. Yes, that's like I just hadn't occurred to me. I got so many things to do. Also, I probably should have done these parts here, which equate to this, before I put on that part, and that's an order issue. But they also put it up here, so they're like, hey, put this there. But whatever. I'm just probably not going to put those on. But I'll put on this part here. And then I'll also put on the numbers in the front. But yes, I got to do that part. You're totally right. You just gotta. All right, so put it in there. Get that nice and water on. Poke that in. It fell. It's great. So that's going to go here. And then right on the front is going to be 55, which I can at least get ready. That's going to be this one here. Also, this is just a box piece of cardboard. There's nothing special about that. I don't think I even need to say that, but whatever. In case somebody was wondering, I don't have a special thing. I just don't want to be carving into the table here. I made that mistake before, and I'm not going to make it again. My old table has character, the one that is currently in New York. It's got character because I fucking carved it up when I was making that wrestling belt out of foam core and cardboard. Really fucked that up. All right. So let's get these pieces on here. And, come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. Oh, you're separating yourself. Okay. That's not great. Okay. Well, you're together. That's not good. So this folded on itself, which is why you don't want it to separate from the paper until you're ready to transfer. So that is bad. So I'm going to try to use my X-Acto knife here to help separate this, or if I can. But yeah, this is bad news. So you want to rip it, but you do want to get it wet. This is delicate work here. I think you know this, but I'll say it. You don't want this to happen. You have to just have to be very. You have to. Everything has to be saturated here. But yeah, this is why you want to slide things off of the paper and not peel it off yourself. You want to slide it off because otherwise it can fold. And then you are doing some very delicate work trying to get it to separate. Wow. Really goofed this one up. Very quiet here as I try to figure out how to do this. Really goofed this one up. Windshield is all sorts of messed up here. It's basically folded in half on my finger right now. And so I'm going to try to separate it without ripping it. And I'm not sure how to do that right now. But I don't want it to dry, because then it's definitely ruined. So yeah, this is why you don't want it to come off the paper in the cup. So if you want to even keep it on the paper with your tweezers and then dunk it in, instead of just letting it sit like I did, that is probably the better method. I was rushing it because I was trying to get these last two things done before the end of the stream. So now I'm paying for it, paying for my rushing by having this be completely folded in half. And now there's no way to separate it. So we'll try to use the X-Acto knife without cutting my finger, which shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, we might be. This might be. This might be unfixable, non-fixable, never fixable. Really dunk this in there. It's like perfectly folded in half. Oh, this sucks. Yeah. Yeah, that's not going to come apart. Okay, so there's a lesson for you. Definitely make sure if you're doing this, you separate them. Uh, you don't let it separate from the paper until you're ready to apply. Otherwise, you will really mess up the. You can really mess things up. You might not mess up as bad as I just did, but you could merely mess it up. Okay, so we're just gonna put the. So there's not gonna be a windscreen piece there, the windshield piece there, but we will put the tag on the front. We'll do that. I'm gonna keep this on the paper by just doing this dunking method here, just to keep that on the paper, and then we will wet this, wet the surface, and then slide this off. Okay, slide that off. And then this down. There. So will it look as good as if it had that piece there? No. Is that okay? It is what it is. It happens, folks. Okay. All right, and that's the stream for tonight. Now, what do we do now? We're going to go and raid somebody. I'm going to go find someone that I think rules, that is streaming right now, that I would like to go and support, and we are going to go and give them a raid. You don't have to come along if you don't want to. I would love it if you did. We're gonna have a great time. You're gonna see some people that are cool. Uh, uh, and I think you start downloading. Okay. Uh, um, and we're gonna find someone awesome to go and check out and see what they're up to and kind of engage with them and see what's up. So I hope you like that. Um, and we are going to go raid the very fantastic Ben Wheeler, who's playing Magic the Gathering. Ben Wheeler of Loading Ready Run, particularly the magic stuff of that. Ben is just an awesome dude. So we're going to go give Ben a raid and see what they're going on there. So thanks so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, playing games on Wednesday. Gonna keep putting more decals on this kit on Thursday, so you can come back for that. Um, I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Thank you for hanging out, and if you're new to the channel, consider giving me a follow. Come back again. I build model kits. That's literally what I do on this stream: is build model kits, and then uh, it's nice. We talk about anime. My regulars are all sweethearts, and I hope you come back and see me again. But thanks so much. Feel free to come along on the raid. If you don't want to come on the raid, you don't have to. If Magic's not your thing, if there's another stream you want to go check out. But Ben is cool, and it'll be a fun person to go hang out. Thanks so much for watching. Lord Creston, you have a great night. And I'll see you in the next build with Baer. Goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.